Well, this is my FX 45 Infiniti. It's a 2005 car, and this is one of the reasons I bought it. The startup is amazing.
For my collection, this is a This is a 1951 GMC 5-window.
Hey, welcome to Black Slack's Garage. I'm going to talk about a 2005 Infiniti FX 45. It's a great car. This is the second FX 45 car that I've owned, and it is one of the most favorite cars I've ever had. I use it as a daily driver, and when I bought it, it had about 40,000 miles on it. That's just a little over 8 or 9 months ago, and it is a perfect car. The only thing that I've had to do to it is replace the front wheel bearings, and these cars apparently have a propensity to eat them up. It is an all-wheel drive car, and it is a bit on the heavy side, so I think that's part of the reason. But that aside, I've done the brakes and the wheel bearings, and that's been about it. Now, when I was shopping for one of these cars, or a car, I was really looking hard at a BMW X5 at first, and with the higher mileage cars, I mean, I think BMWs, when they hit up around 60, 70,000 miles, they sort of start to fall apart, and that can be very pricey. And I looked at Porsche Cayennes, looked at a base Cayenne. They were really uninspiring. I just didn't like the way they look. Now the S is a little nicer, and of course the Turbo is just a fantastic looking car, but maintenance prices to keep those things going are pretty expensive. So I opted for the tried and true. This is the third Infiniti that I've owned. I had an FX 45 prior to this one, and then I started out years ago with a QX4, which was a great little SUV. Now this car is a crossover. It certainly is not a car that I would want to take in the woods and try to dig out of holes. I mean, I think it'd be great if you're parking at the polo fields and maybe having to pull through the grass. You'll be okay. Okay. It being all-wheel drive, it's probably great in the snow. It does have a VDC button that you can click. I've never had to drive it in the snow, but with the tires and wheel package on this car, they're 20-inch wheels, and they're road wheels. This is a car. These cars were built based on the Q45, I believe, and it has the same motor. So it's based on a car platform. And so it's not any part of a pickup truck. Certainly the Cayennes and the BMW X5s, and for that matter the ML Mercedes, those cars are far more capable in the woods, far more capable to dig you out of a snowbank or ditch or whatever you're into. If that's what you're looking for, that's what you need to get. But this is a car, and it drives like a car. It sounds like a car, and is really fun to drive. It does have an automatic transmission with I guess they call it a Tiptronic. It's you can automatic shift it or you can manual shift it, and just the sound and the pickup of this car is amazing. And while shopping for an SUV, I needed an SUV just to be able to haul things. I mean, a Porsche 911 as an everyday driver, if you're driving to the office every day, that's fine, but you're never going to put pine straw or a bag of potting soil in the back of the Porsche. I'm just not going to do it. So I needed something that I can, and also I do triathlon, so I had needed something to carry my bike as well. And looking at the X5, again, BMWs, they tend to start to fall apart just a little bit as they age up, the electronics and the driveline. And Porsche, the brakes are expensive to replace, very expensive, and so I opted Japanese. They are much more forgiving, I think, when it comes to replacing things. And this car, if you head-to-head, is faster than all of those cars because it is basically a car and drives like a car, handles like a car, and it's very, very nice to drive. The FX45 in 2005 was about $45,000 with just about everything, which is pretty close to the Porsche price. A Cayenne S or even the BMW X5, those were just a little bit more expensive. But I think for what you're getting, if you're looking for more of a road car with a little bit of four-wheel drive, a little bit of all-wheel drive that'll help you get through the snow or maybe through a field, but I think for the money, even in today's dollars, I mean, you can find these cars, if you can find a 45 that hasn't been thrashed, they're pretty reasonable. You know, just a little over $10,000, which is pretty close to the price of a high mileage Porsche or BMW X5. But I think if you're looking at that, those cars are going to be much more expensive to repair if something does go wrong because of their age. These Japanese cars just hold together so well. Every Infiniti that I've ever owned has been just amazing. Just a great, great car and very, very reliable. I've owned a couple of Lexus cars and it's similar. I mean, now inside is really nice. I mean, really well done, and nice leather, nice stitching in the seat backs. Dash is made of really nice plastic. That sounds funny. All of this is a little bit dated. It's 2005, but at the time, this was pretty high tech. You got fuel economy and the maintenance warnings, tire rotation, tire pressure, and engine oil. You know, two trip odometers, and then you go to the map. I agree. You get daytime and nighttime. Cassette player. Yeah, everybody has cassettes these days. And 6-disc CD player, which is very nice, and it is a Bose system, so it sounds really good in here. Lots of space in the back, enough to carry my bike anyway, so really nicely done. It's fantastic looking 20-inch wheels. Just a beautiful car, and I loved the way that the wheels and tires work together and fitting under the fenders. The Porsche was not that impressive when I started looking at that, and the BMW X5, unless you went for the really big tire package. These just look fantastic. So to wrap it up, I think the Infiniti FX45 is really the sports car of SUVs for 2005. It drives and rides like a sports sedan, because that's basically what it is, being based on a car. It's not good for driving off-road, taking in the woods, or anything like that, but it will do really well on winding mountain roads or a little bit of snow. I think that with all the active safety and passive safety features that the car comes with, it's really state-of-the-art technology. So if you're looking for that kind of car, I think the Infiniti FX is the one to get. Thanks for watching, and I will see you next week. Take care. Bye.